All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly stream. We got galactic tapes in here. Yeah, time for my voice to crack randomly. We got galactic tapes. We got Nigel. We got Dustin and Alex in the chat. Dustin, you almost got a new OPZ. Went with the Tracker Mini instead. That's a good choice, I think. I mean, the OPZ. Well, I guess for those of you who don't know, this was the second piece of electronic music gear I ever got. I got a PO33, and then like a month later, I got the OPZ. Fell in love with it. Used the shit out of this thing until basically, well, you can see I have an Amazon gift card under it. That's because, well, you can see the bend there, which is crazy. And the bend led to double triggering, particularly the G and the E key. And now they seem to be okay, but I don't know if that'll hold up as we go. So I have this Amazon gift card under here to actually help with the flex, because I've come to realize it's not like an electronics issue. It's actually just a physical issue. Galactic Tape sent me an article a couple weeks ago, which is actually what had me, or what has me revisiting the OPZ and why I'm interested in it again. Basically, the person who made the article said that they went into the OPZ and found that it's because of the bending, the board itself, like the travel distance is too far for the key. So it's, oh, there we go. There's some good old double triggers, but it's not the key like misfiring, like contact wise. It's literally like a physical issue. So what they did is they put several pieces of paper in there, I believe, between the membrane and the board, and it fixed the problem 100%. So I think I'm going to be attempting that fix in the near future, because the OPZ, like I said, it quickly became my favorite sequencer and piece of gear, and right now it is probably tied for number 2 with the Woofbox. The Dirty Wave M8 has become number 1. Yes, Alex, give me just a second. Let me pop over to Discord and scroll through my DMs with the Galactic Tapes. Let's see here. Here it is. Here's the article. Oh. Galactic Tapes is going to post it. Well, I've got it right here. Oh, it's too long for... Yeah, I'm not going to... if you've got it, Galactic Tapes, go ahead and post it. It's the link itself was too long, and I have all like my URL shortener and stuff is all tucked away right now because I'm streaming. But sounds like he's in here and he'll post it. So thank you, Galactic Tapes. But yeah. Excuse me again, man. Just cough, cough, cough. I figured today it would be fun to revisit the OPZ and see what we could come up with. I'm not going to use the app. I have it available nearby if I need it, but yeah, I figured I'd just see what I could remember. It has been over 2 years since I've used this. And really quick, I'm going to address the 2 major haters to the channel. I'm not going to name them, but they know who they are, of course. I'm sure I will get accused of clickbaiting with the thumbnails from 2 years ago when I'm like, I'm done with the OPZ and retiring the OPZ one. It's been 2 years and I'm looking to revisit it, and it's my channel, so deal with it. Okay, the OPZ has 16 different tracks. 8 of those tracks actually have sounds in them. The other 8 are for like the effects, the tape track. There's a master track section. There's a performance section. There's a section that has to do with a module. that you can put in here and basically give it more functionality through the top, which I don't have any of those. I don't have any of the modules. Then there's a section for DMX lighting control, which is badass. And then there's also a section for video control, which I've never really used. And then you have these wheels here, which control different parameters. So you can hear I'm on the kick drum track right now, and this is controlling the pitch of the sample. Hopefully the volume is loud enough for y'all here. But yeah, the wheels control different parameters. You kind of just have to memorize what they are if you're not using the app, because there's no screen, which I really love. And then the shift button down here cycles through different parameters. So when the buttons are green, this is the envelope. So this is your attack. That's like maybe this is the attack with when you're on a sample engine, which the 4 drum engines, kick, snare, hi-hat, and percussion are all sample-based. This might be the start of the sample, I think, yeah. It's been a while. Next page is the LFO, so I believe it's depth, rate, destination, and shape. Maybe shape, destination. I can't remember. And then the last page is effects 1, effects 2, pan, and volume for the track. Volume is low on the OPZ. Okay, I thought so. Give me a second. I'm maxed out on the OPZ, which you might notice I actually broke the power knob, which is also the volume knob. I'm going to up it on the mixer. One sec. Is that better? Hey, Grove Twig's in here. Groove Twig. I'm going to be up visiting Grove Twig starting tomorrow. I'm going to bring the OPZ with me because I think I might do like a proper video on it. Anyway, this is our track button right here. This is how we switch between our 16 different tracks. We'll probably just mostly be staying in our first 8. So we have kick drum track, snare drum track, the cymbal or hi-hat track, percussion track or auxiliary, whatever you want. And by the way, any of these tracks can be whatever samples you want. So they just have the labels there, kind of like on the Woof box, just to kind of guide you. Then you have basses, leads, arpeggios, and chords. It's that simple. Are there caps you can put on the encoders? Yeah. They use the Lego Technic connection. I've never really felt the need to. I just, they're magnetic, so they're really, really smooth. And people like to complain that they can pop out, which they can. Look at that. Ooh. And people will be like, oh, it's because of the bad build quality. No, I think they're supposed to come out. They are magnets. So, like, they're in there. They're not going to come out unless you're dropping it or, like, really violently shaking it upside down. But, yeah. But yeah, they do fit the Lego Technic rods, which is pretty cool. Anyway, when you hold down the track button, that's how you select your tracks. But these buttons up top are also your 16-step sequencer, which is really nice. So if we want to go like a 4 on the floor pattern, just select the sound we want. We'll pick that one, and then hit play. You can hear the metronomes going. There's actually some buttons on top here. Project, mixer, metronome, and screen. If we hold metronome and use this last knob, it's actually the level of the metronome. So there we go. It's also how we control the tempo, which can be increased or decreased right here. Or you can actually type it into the numbers. And anytime you hold down that button there, you'll see the numbers flash. So we're at 123 beats per minute. Let's go for 105. So 105. There we go. Just like that. Super intuitive. I don't like this kick drum sound. Now I could choose from any of these 16. but we get 10 different banks of samples available to us. And you can swap these out by just plugging it into your computer. I heard a double trigger there. And before starting this stream, I put some like synthwave-y kicks in here. Not there.
This is a user sample. Default.
I can't remember which slot. There they are. In slot 9. So... Not sure which one I want. Zackadoodle says the OP1 and the OPZ are very expensive. The OPZ, I feel, is actually pretty well priced for what it is and how powerful it is. It gets a really bad rep because of the build quality, which, I mean, the double triggering and all those issues are deservedly, attacked as they should be. But right now, I was looking on Amazon. You can get an OPZ for $499 US, which is pretty good. The OP1, yes, it is expensive, especially the OP1 field. There's no reason for it to be that expensive at all. But I think the OPZ, granted it was kind of at the high end of what it should be priced, but it was reasonable. You also might wonder how I know if a parameter is centered without a screen. When the LED flashes green, that's how I know it's there. There we go. So let's put this kick drum down here. Now you'll notice it's not really playing out like one-shot style. It's set by default to Retrig, which is kind of silly. The OP1 comes with a deed to a field. The OP1 field comes with a deed to a field. And the way that we change the Retrig style is by holding down the... it might be shift, but I think it's the track button, and then I believe it's the blue knob, if I remember. And the light changed to blue. Yeah, there we go. Now they play out. So there are a lot of button combinations that you need to remember, but once you do memorize them and spend some time with it, you get pretty quick on it. And if you don't memorize them, you can just use your phone as a screen. With the app on iOS and Android, works great. Let's switch to the hi-hat track now, and I think... Yeah, I've got some synthwave style hats on here. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm just going to go like this here. Actually, we'll go, yeah. Okay, to the snare drum track. And are they here? Yep. Set those. There we go. And if I go to page 4 of my parameters, the last one is volume. You were going to ask if I knew if there was an app or not, City Cat. Also, hi, City Cat. So, Alex, I just saw what you said a few messages back there. Yes, Zach, the app is free. You wonder if Teenage Engineering is going to do anything price or firmware-wise in response to Yamaha's new device, the Seek Track. From what I've seen on the Seek Track, I don't know. I just don't get it, really. I mean, it's cool that they've got like the DX engine in there and everything, but I don't know. I have no desire for one whatsoever. I'm going to go and add some reverb to that. There we go. And put that right here. Whoop, there we go. I don't like that at all. Ooh. We'll do that one. There we go. That's better. So one thing that's cool with the OPZ is that you get 16 patterns per project. You can store up to 10 projects. Think of a project as a song. You can store up to 10 projects on here, and each project can have up to 16 different patterns. We access those by holding the P on top, and then numbers 1 through 0 become projects 1 through 10, so we're on project 10. And then the patterns are the sequencer buttons, so we're on the first pattern. Now, what's neat is that each track individually contributes to the same pattern, but you can have different lengths for the tracks within a pattern. So that's actually one of my gripes with the Seek track. And it's the same way I feel about the Novation circuits. I don't like devices that just kind of give you individual patterns for each track and then let you mix and match them. As a very composition-based musician, that does absolutely nothing for me. So on the Seek track, you look at it, and each track gets 6 patterns, and that's it. Now, granted, a pattern on there can be, I believe, up to 128 steps, which is cool. But there's no way to through compose a piece of music, because even at 128 steps or 8 measures of 4/4, 6 patterns isn't enough. Whereas on the OPZ, you can get a little closer to it, because each pattern is only 16 steps, but as we'll demonstrate here with the bass track, you can actually change how long each step lasts. And my terminology here is not going to be great, but basically I can hold Shift and the track button and then click on the numbers 1 through, I believe, through 9, and it will instantly make a pattern that long measures wise. So if I want a 4 measure bass pattern, Shift, track, hit 4. Now 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4 4 2 3 4, which is super cool. What's silly? Oh, stream volume's kind of soft. Volume looks good in OBS. Interesting. But yeah, 6 patterns on the Seek track, even though you can mishmash them. Silly. But so if I were to just put in my notes by sequencing here, so let's just come up with a random bass line. Ignore the sound for now. We'll change it. Whoop, I had a mistrigger there. And let's go into our envelope here. And well, actually, this demonstrates the problem perfectly. You can't even really hear what's going on because it lowered the resolution of the pattern when I changed the length of the pattern, right? So if I clear this out, there we go. Each one of these is basically just a quarter note now, because 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4, so forth. However, there's live play on here, and you don't lose resolution in live play. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to arm it. So that was a really bad pattern I played. But listen, we now have 4 measures. So as long as you're okay live playing, it doesn't really matter. And you can use a MIDI keyboard to do that too, so you're not playing around on the dinky little keys. So you don't really lose the resolution just in the sequencer proper. If you're willing to live play, you're good. And you can do that, I believe, up to 9 measures long with your patterns. Obviously, 8 would be way more common there. And you can still quantize by holding track and using the quantize of the yellow knob there. You have to be pretty accurate with your playing. I'm going to change presets. Nope. So there's engines and there's presets within those. That's not bad. You can see I did some, excuse me, some envelope tweaking there. What engines are there? Oh man, I cannot remember. There's like all the basic types of synthesis are here. And they're different for each melodic track too. I know there's like an organ wavetable on the chords. I remember that one. Yeah, without the app to look at the names, I cannot remember. I'm sorry. We're hoping for an OP1 field. Yeah, I would say, or an OPZ field. I would say that the OPZ field would probably be at the top of my list for gear that I want to get my hands on. Yeah. And all I would want, well, actually I have a lot of things I would want. That's probably a video I might make in the future. I'm not exactly sure what I'd be willing to pay. I'd probably be willing to pay up to $1,000 for one, honestly. The OPZ just is, this form factor and everything about this device just speaks to me. I love it. Let's get some chords in here. So we'll switch to the chord track. So different engines, different presets within those. You can save your own presets. Octave up and down right here. It's kind of vibey. Let's go 4 measures long and we'll live play it. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we can have some fun with that. Galactic Tapes, you don't want a screen. Yeah, I do not want a screen either. It just doesn't need one. I'm doing all this from memory. All this adjustment and all these parameter tweaks and everything I'm doing from memory. I haven't touched this device in like 2 years almost. It just doesn't need a screen. I would say metal case, which would take care of the bending, as well as I'd want the main board to be a little more reinforced underneath, or whatever the PCB with those contacts is for, the buttons. I'd want multi-track out, which I know someone created a Alex, I did see your comment on the Waveform podcast, but I couldn't think of anything goofy enough to comment or to reply to you with. That was an interesting mishmash of worlds, though. To see MKBHD talking about teenage engineering stuff and interviewing them, yeah. There are settings that a screen would help on the OPZ. Yeah, but that's why you have the app. Like, if you really need those settings, you can just whip out the app real quick. When I was like at the height of using this device, though, like I didn't even need the screen for the LFO. Like, I don't know. Let's try to put some vibrato in our chord sound here. I'm gonna turn it up a bit too. Just a really subtle amount of vibrato. So, white buttons are page 1, green are page 2, and purple, which is the LFO, is page 3. Let's see. This one is depth. I know that. I believe this one is rate. And if I remember at a certain point, on one side you're dealing with hertz, on the other side you're dealing with synced like beat divisions. So that will just be a little trial and error. Destination is going to be the interesting one. I believe they go in order of the parameters on page 1. So this would be parameter 1. That would be parameter 2. Hang on. Parameter 2. Filter. Resonance. Attack. Right, and then decay. No, it doesn't go attack, decay. I think it goes attack, vibrato, and then skips straight to pan and volume. I think that's it. I think this is vibrato. And then this is our wave shape. Default is sine. Oh, man, I'm really racking my brain here. Let's see. Next one's triangle. That's fine. A fast triangle will be good. Yeah, I was definitely on vibrato. This is our depth. And we'll increase the rate. I believe this side, because these are the harsh button changes, this means this is our beat division. Yeah. We'll just dial in a little vibrato. So yeah, I was able to do that all from memory. And it's been 2 years. Yeah, groovy. I don't know. I will forever be in the no screen camp for the OPZ. They also do give you. This is kind of crazy. I was very surprised when I found this out. They give you a stand for your phone. You just have to take the back off. We may have lost connection to the stream. Are we good? I think we might be back. Did you see the stand? We got the stand here. You can just put your phone on it like that. Yeah. Sorry about that. Not sure why the internet randomly took a shit. It happens. But yeah, I will forever be in the no screen camp. I think I just changed the wave on the LFO. The LFO page is a dangerous page to just hang out on. I will say that. Let's get a fun ARP going. we'll record it in live. Now, there's no LFO page for the ARP. Instead, that's where your controls for the ARP are. So the first one, I believe, is ARP speed. Yeah, and if you want to solo a track, by the way, unfortunately you have to mute the other ones by holding the mixer button. So we'll just do that. Whoop, mute the bass too. There we go. So we'll keep 16th notes there. We'll mute the chords too. I believe this is our play style. Yeah. It's been a minute, sorry. The last one's random. I do know that. I believe this one's our note range, possibly, or maybe that's the last one. It's definitely the last one. Huh. Definitely a bit rusty here. Tighten that up a bit. There we go. Go to our effects. Some delay, which sounds like it's synced. Some reverb. Slowly bring in everything else. Nice. There we go. All right, gonna catch up on chat. The OPZ is nice to use with a sound card. What would make it a field level? Man, you're really on this screen kick, aren't you? I think the thing that makes the OPZ so special and so fulfilling to use is the fact that it doesn't have the screen. What would make it field level? A metal enclosure, for one thing, to prevent the bending, prevent the warping. Multi-track out, which again, I know someone out there made a plugin that does that, or a program that does that, rather, sorry. It needs to come with the line module, so a dedicated line in. A second line out would be very cool. Proper MIDI in and out would be great. The ability to easier sampling, I believe someone actually said that in chat. Yeah. Yeah, easier sampling would be very nice. I would love to see the full resolution for patterns up to 128 steps, or hell, even 256 steps long. That would be very nice. I would also love to see more patterns and more chainable patterns, which you can chain patterns together. I've got a full album on the OPZ that I really enjoy. I'd love to see higher quality synthesis engines with more options, maybe 6 pages of parameters per sound instead of just 4. A revised punch-in effect, or just more punch-in effects, so maybe a second page of those. There's so much you could do. The OP1 field does have multi-track, or stem export. When I say multi-track out, I mean stem export. And the OP1 field definitely has stem export, and I know that because the original OP1 also has stem output. Or stem export, sorry. Yeah, second envelope, second LFO. An assignable envelope would be very cool. Very, very, very cool. And there's probably more that I could think of. But as is, it's just such a phenomenal device. There's a lot of attention to detail in it. The built-in synths are terrible. I wouldn't call them terrible, but they're not good. They're serviceable, but yeah, they're definitely not great. Higher quality ones would be cool. I mean, kind of like how they refreshed the synth engines from the OP1 to the OP1 field. I would enjoy, an update like that. Copying and pasting is so cool. So this is one thing I will never forget. When you hold project and hit the shift button, that means you're copying the pattern, right? So I just pasted it into slot 2. That's everything. If I push it twice, that means I'm just copying the settings for the track that I'm on. And if I push it 3 times, then I'm copying just the track itself, like with the notes from that patterns too. Yeah, dedicated mic input and dedicated line in, MIDI in and out proper, at least 3.5 mil. Obviously, you're not going to fit 5-pin in this. But yeah, if it essentially came with the line module that they make, that gives you a line in, line out, MIDI in, MIDI out, sync in, sync out up top. Of course, this also has a microphone. Is this working? I don't know. Hopefully. I don't know. Lack of sampling space is a big problem. I get that, but I don't necessarily think it's kind of like the Woof box. Like, it's not meant to be a sampler, really. It's meant to be more of a composition tool, and or just, you know what I mean. But I realize that's an opinion I have that I don't think is shared by a lot of the community. So I mean, more sampling space would not be unwelcome. Certainly not. I mean, I don't think Teenage Engineering really does this, but a micro SD slot would be very cool. I've been spoiled by my M8, able to stream just right off the card. Yeah, Galactic Tapes, I'm with you there. Better synth engines, I'd be okay with the limited sample space still. Let's get a little lead line here. Oh, sequenceable pitch bend. You can't do it. There's a little pitch bend thingy down here. And those aren't sequenceable, which is really silly. So I'd love for that to be sequenceable. Let's find a better sound, because that one is ass. I believe that's the saw engine. Let's change this to monophonic. Is it this? Yeah. I think there's a legato. Whoops, that's the wrong one. This one? Yeah. But an assignable envelope would be very cool. Because right now the envelope, crank the sustain, is just for the amplitude. Whoop. It's hard to look over at the computer screen and then look back here. Let's set this to 8 measures long and just try to play something in, maybe. Gonna knock a little off the attack, so it's not as like clicky. And too much delay. More reverb though. There we go. And this does have parameter locking too, so you can actually step record your parameters in. So we'll record a lead line and then I'll play with the filter over the top of it. And that will also showcase what I mean when I say you lose resolution, because it's so weird. You don't lose resolution from live play, but you do lose resolution from the effects too. So here we go. Let's play this. Okay, so we got our lead line. Let's play with the filter now. And I'm going to do parameter recording. So we're on page 1. So it's one of those bipolar. So low mode is your low pass. The other side is your high pass. Let's have some fun. I would love to see full resolution for like at least 128 steps. 256 would be badass. There should be portamento too. I think that's this one. Yeah. We'll keep that low. Okay, let's have some fun with the... Well, let's look at the master track actually. So there are effects 1 and 2, and you can swap them out. There's delays, reverbs, there's a distortion, I think. I just have a basic delay and reverb. Right now, I can't remember what the rest of them are on here, on each of them. And then you control the sends from the instrument rather than from the effects pages. However, I believe you can control the sends on the app from the effects screen directly. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Ooh, Chantak has a good question. Do I usually just jam straight out of the audio output, or is there a better way to export a pattern track by track? When I'm just playing like this, this is audio out. This is going straight into my live track L12. That's it. And I believe that's how I did it when I recorded my album. I believe everything was done on the OPZ. However, since then, I've done 2 songs on the OPZ. I think they're unreleased. Maybe I'll fix that someday. But I did painstakingly go through. I set up my pattern chains, and then I went and I muted all the tracks except for one, and I went one by one and recorded them each into my DAW. And that's it. Also, I noticed Pete Jammin' since birth. Variety of tapes. Yeah, let's talk about the tape track real quick here. The tape track is crazy. I still don't really know how it works. All I know is you control the length of your tape stops, or tape, I don't even know what they're called. Basically, it simulates playing your track through a tape. Control the filter as well as the speed. It's pretty cool. There's crazy stuff you can do. There's also like a tape stop effect with the pitch bend. Which is neat. Yeah, the tape track is insane. I don't really understand it. But it's super cool. Unique, as far as I know, for any device like this. I can't think of anything else that even comes close to this kind of performance type track in a sequencer based device. I'm not going to count the OP1 because that is audio based. It's not sequencer based, even though it does have sequencers. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. Yeah, and you can sequence the tape machine too, which is crazy. So, well, that was a bad example. I don't know if I can set length here. Yeah. It's been so long. I might have forgotten how to do it. Oh, there we go. Clearly, I'm rusty on the tape track because I never was good at it to begin with. But it's pretty cool. I don't think it has scatter type. Or I see what you're comparing to. Hey, cheap noises in the house. Did you miss anything? Just 47 minutes of subpar OPZ material. Let's move on to the master track because it's actually pretty interesting. You've got like live transpose. It'll do its best to figure out what key you're in. And just kind of go for it. Say this is chorus. Yeah, this one's drive. Sounds great. That sounds awesome. Cheap Noise, you're always late to these. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Any thoughts on or opinions on stuff from NAMM? I will talk about it a little bit in this coming Friday's video. Which, by the way, if you don't know, I do post every Friday. My videos are every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Streams are Wednesday. Post is Friday. I will probably pick up an NTS 3. I will probably pick up an NTS 1 Mark II. And I will definitely be picking up one of the new Zoom Essential H6s. 32-bit float and Type freaking C. You had me at Type C, honestly. But then 32-bit float, yeah. Groove Twig and I are going to have some fun this weekend with my H5, though. We got something fun in the works. Couple videos. I'm going to try to film when I'm up there. I'm taking my sister-in-law with me, too. Which will be fun. Galactic Tapes wants some delay on the lead. So needy. There you go. Is that what you want? It's actually kind of sick. And what's crazy is we haven't even talked about the punch-in effects. So these, just like on the pocket operators, are different effects that you can hold down that will change your song. These affect the drums, these affect the melody. So filter sweep the drums. rest do. Kind of like a loop effect. Ooh, nice wide stereo. A little quiet compared to the OPZ. There, we'll turn it down. That pitches the drums down. There we go. It's like a gated effect on the drums. Yes, you can do multiple effects at once. So now we're onto the melodic effects. That's clearly removing the melodic stuff entirely. Filter sweep. Yeah, very cool. And I can't remember what these do in performance, or in, punch-in effect mode. I can't remember what the encoders do, but they probably do something. Then there's also what do they call them? Step components. So these are neat. We'll go back to pattern 1. Actually, we'll go to pattern 2 because it's got that lead, and then we'll go to the lead track, and then we will copy that track over to pattern 1. There we go. See how easy that was? It's stuff like that. Stuff like that that makes the OPZ so phenomenal to just fly around with. The copy and pasting, arrangement-wise, for someone like me who doesn't care as much about the sounds, and I'm more interested in, like the theory and the notes and all that stuff and how everything goes together and interacts. Awesome. This is my previous OPZ. Yeah, it's doing okay. I was just about to comment on that, actually. The G and E keys and the Shift key, which were the ones, and the track button. All three of those were giving me issues, and they seem to be doing okay. I will probably be filming another video with the OPZ in the future-ish. Step components, that's what we were going to talk about. They are basically, they're kind of like the electron sequencer, like the conditional stuff. But you can go even further with them. There's three of them at the end. They're represented by the white keys down here. There's 3 at the end that actually tell the sequencer when to ignore those components. Every time I say I can't remember, you remember why you need the screen? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair there. I could probably sit down with the screen and then not for an hour or two and then not need it again for, a while. I will say I spent so much time with the OPZ that I really did just become so familiar with it that I did not need a screen in the slightest. And if you do care more about sounds, then the OPZ just might not be the device for you because they're not great. They're not great. What prompted me to bust the OPZ back out? Galactic Tape sent me that article about fixing it, and I was like, I should give it another shot and see if it was as bad as I remembered. And I'm not sure if it is as bad as I remember. I might have to go watch a couple of those videos and just see how bad it was. The G key was like not pressing at all. I do remember that, and the E key was getting close to it. I was having problems with the shift button, and I do think that I was having problems with the track button too, which the shift button and the track button seem to be doing great. So, I don't know. I kind of want to try that fix, putting the paper. Derek, was I talking to you about that on Discord? I can't remember if we were talking about that or not. I'm the OPZ OG. I don't know about that. I appreciate it, though. Let's see. Who did I learn the OPZ from? Cuckoo. Definitely. My volume knob is broken. It is. I accidentally dropped it. The camera. Let me take off. See if I can get it to focus. Maybe. It really doesn't want to. But yeah, it fell, and it wasn't in its lovely case by Analog Cases. Not sponsored. They have sent me stuff before in the past, but I actually bought that case. But it wasn't in its case, and it fell. And iFixit no longer sells OPZ parts, which that leads me to believe we might be getting a field edition sometime in the future. But I was trying to think OPZ. Sunwoo. Sunwoo also an OPZ, an amazing OPZ creator. Gar Hoover's got some awesome stuff too. Yeah, True Cuckoo, yeah. We all love him, I'm sure. I'd love to meet him someday. But yeah, at the time I got this, I was living, Lady Freebeat and I were living with her parents, and I was pretty like down and depressed and really didn't know what to do, and needed a musical outlet. Sold a bunch of stuff and bought the OPZ and started the channel. I think I'd started the channel technically before, but yeah, just literally pulled myself out with music, so. The OPZ and the PO33, that's probably another reason why I love them both so much. Anyway, step components, I can't remember how to sequence them. I think we go to a track. Let's go to snare drum track. Here, we'll put 3 at the end here. And we will drop out all the melodic stuff. Now, I think if I hold shift and select these 3, yeah, now I can choose a step component. And I want to say they'll do things like randomize the pitch. That's where your retrigger is. You can pitch up, pitch down. And then this one here, I think allows me to say, like, only do it the first time or only do it the second time. And then I can pick, you know, what I want there. Let's see. Yeah. So I could reselect these. Whoop. Then hit 4. Yeah, so it'll do it the first time and then not the other 3. There we go. Or if I just click 4, now it should only go the 4th time, I think. Which makes a little more sense for context here, because it's like a fill. Yeah, and we can also add like a double trigger here, and you can pick how many triggers you want, so 2 is fine. You can stack step components, super cool. Yeah. Except I don't like it there. I want it here on this one. Whoop. So there's some double triggers. Yeah. There we go. Let's bring in everything else and have a listen. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I love the OPZ. I just realized I have some old projects on here. So you might recognize this song. These are all songs from my album, my OPZ album. So this is Hammerhead, and like here's a pattern chain I had set up, so this should be the whole song. This is before I knew anything about electronic music, so like no reverb or anything. Yeah, you recognize it from the live? Yeah, that one's one of my favorites to play live on the drums. That's if you haven't seen a Freebeat live show before, we've got quite a few of them posted. I do live electronic drums to a lot of these songs, which is super fun. And we've got one hell of a show planned for you this summer. So I hope y'all check it out. It's going to be a blast. Tune in and watch it live. I promise you won't be disappointed. I see Sadiq Cat. I see you're off to bed. Have a good night. We're about to wrap here too. I just want to see what else is on here. That's my wife's favorite song. Yep, all the songs from my album. Mystery Hour. This is one of my favorites. There we go, there's the melody. Yeah, I love that one. If you're going to check out a live show, I would recommend watching Freebeat Live The Next Level. Starts off with like an hour of music from my subscribers from the Freebeat community, and then there's about 10 minutes of like a comedy sketch intro, and then it goes into an hour set, and then there's a half-hour break for more subscriber music, and then another hour set by me, and then we wrap. Ooh, I don't know what this is. It's cool. I'll turn the volume back up. Okay, my wife's favorite song is not only 2 beats long, it's just long. Or it's just takes a while to get going, but I'm trying to find where the... There we go. Yeah, she loves that one. This is a piece that I've had on here since like day 2. And I've just never done anything with it. I love that feel of like 4/4 over 3. Yeah, it's never done anything with it. I was hoping Ghost in the Galaxy would be on here, which is the channel intro, which is a full Freebeat song. Yeah, some of you know that one. Yeah. Anyway, I might have to spend some more time with the OPZ. Might be time to bring it back finally after all these years. Want to get that fix on the backside done. Very, very interested in doing that. I tried, not going to lie, I tried it a couple days ago. But I didn't have a lot of time, and once you start taking out, also replaceable battery, shout out for that. Here's like where the modules come out. Once you start taking out these little screws and like trying to get under this board here, I was a little weary. But I might give it a shot in the near future. I think it deserves it. And let's keep our fingers crossed for an OPZ field, because it's been a long time since I've given Teenage Engineering money, and that would probably be what it takes for me to give them more. Anyway, I do thank y'all for hanging out. Hope you had a good time. Sorry we had some internet troubles in the middle there. Yeah. Don't really know what else to say. If you haven't seen I know there's only like 20 people in here, but if you haven't seen last Friday's video where I went out in nature with the Dirty Wave M8 and made a track, check it out. It did not, I put a lot of effort into it. It was the first time I've like really tried to make a higher quality video, and it kind of didn't do well at all. So if you haven't seen it, go give it a look. Here, I'll put it in chat right now. Look at me go like a real YouTuber. Let's see here. But I do have another video coming out this Friday where we take the NTS-1 out into nature and have some fun with it. So I would appreciate you checking that one out too. But yeah, there, I just linked last Friday's video if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I'm really proud of this Friday's video, this coming one. So Friday at 5 p.m., hope you check it out. And I do talk about some NAMM stuff in there as well. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out, checking out the stream. And yeah, you're all the best. We'll see you Friday for the main video. And then Sunday sessions on Sunday. I leave tomorrow to head up to Grove Twig's place. Gonna jam and do some music. Maybe I'll post on Instagram there. If you don't follow me, it's at FreeTheBeatWithin. Haven't posted for years, and I've just recently started posting again. So yeah, cool. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.